is Histories and Mysteries Uncovered. I'm Jessica.
And I'm not Ashley. This is Kyle.
So, if you follow our social media, you will know that Ashley has something called diverticulitis, and she had a bit of a flare up and she had to go for emergency surgery. So, she is going to be out for the count for a little bit. And my husband so graciously offered to fill in her big shoes.
Attempt to, anyway.
He's very nervous, so everybody be super nice to him.
Or not.
Please be nice to him. I'm sensitive. So for this week, he's going to start us off with a really horrible story of Rose and Fred West. And I will be telling a very uplifting story of Bessie, Blount, Griffin. And because of these unfortunate happenings this week of Ashley becoming very ill and the fact that it was my birthday this week, I will not be editing this episode. So I really hope you guys enjoy.
Uncensored?
Uncensored, because it's my birthday party this weekend. And I do not plan to do any work. So I hope you all enjoy, and I will hand the reins over to my husband. Again, he's very nervous, so everybody be super nice to him. Here you go.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Rose and Fred West. First, Rose West was born Rosemary Letts in 1953 to parents Bill and Daisy. Her mother was prone to depression and received shock therapy, and she received this during her pregnancy with Rosemary, and it may have affected her mental state, predisposing her to violence before birth.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Rose's father was from the military, and as that is, obsessed with cleanliness and would beat his wife and kids for mistakes. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Her father also had schizophrenia and is alleged to have sexually abused Rose during her childhood.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Could you even imagine
No.
that happening?
Goodness, no. It's terrible.
Like, why would you have a child if that is the thing that you are going to do to them?
Oh, I have no idea.
I just don't understand.
Well, that's how we have people like this. We get to talk about them for this.
Talk about them on the podcast.
As awful as they are, it's good for us.
Yes.
So these factors led to her experimenting with her sexuality. She would molest her brothers and actually raped one of them when she was 12.
Oh.
Yeah. She would also harass a lot of the other boys that lived in her village.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Fred West was born in 1941.
So he was a lot older than her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A lot older. He ended up being the first child, and they grew up on a farm in a very poor family. Again, his father was very strict, and his mother was very overprotective. And by about 1951, his mother gave birth to a total of 8 children, with only 6 surviving.
Aw.
But Fred, being the first, was the favorite of the mother.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, no.
You're the firstborn.
That's scary.
And you're the favorite.
Yeah, well, you've met my siblings. You know why.
I'm the youngest and I'm the favorite.
Total opposites. So Fred, during his childhood, was considered dim and lethargic. Later.
Rude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how's your child's personality? It's fucking stupid.
Hey, now it's dim and lethargic. So he's a little slow and slower. So because of this, he dropped out at 15. He would claim that he was sexually abused by his mom, engaged in bestiality, and that his father was incestuous with his daughters. These were later refuted by one of Fred's brothers to not be true. So,
oh man,
I can only hope that.
And these two people find each other.
And that's scary.
That's scary.
So Fred was known to be overly aggressive in pursuing women. He would fondle, grope whoever he found attractive. At 17, he was in a serious motorcycle accident, had a fractured skull, broken arm, broken leg, and left him in a coma for 7 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and this actually caused a major emotional change that resulted in him having fits of rage. Just what he needed.
So kind of Like the traumatic brain injuries, like the TBIs, right?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe an
Okay.
early version of CTE.
Yeah.
A couple years later, he actually was groping a woman, and she punched him so hard he actually fell off the fire escape and fell 2 stories down. Yet again, getting injured.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, he's totally a TBI thing.
Yeah. In 61, Fred's 13-year-old sister Kitty informed their mother that Fred had been raping her and had impregnated her.
Oh no.
So upon Fred's arrest, he admitting to molesting many young girls. However, the case fell apart as his mother was going to testify on his behalf.
Oh.
And this might have caused his sister Kitty to refute her testimony and make the case dismissed. But he would be disowned and banished from the house, but somehow not go to jail. I don't understand that. But
Okay. How does that make any sense?
I don't.
You support your child, but then you banish him from your house.
I think they thought jail was too bad for him.
That's so ass backwards.
Oh, don't worry. It gets better.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
So his first wife, Rena, they were married in 1962. Rena at the time was actually pregnant from a bus driver, and the child was of a mixed race. So what happened was Fred and Rena would actually say that she had a miscarriage, and they adopted Charmaine. The couple would give birth to a daughter later on called Anne Marie, and Fred would cage the children while he was at home and only allow them out when he was at work.
You're not allowed on this podcast again.
I'm sorry.
Why are you like, you're like me.
I know.
When you do true crime, you go balls to the walls.
Hey, man, if you're going to start it with the first one, might as well make it big.
Oh my gosh.
So Fred would go on to have many affairs, and when Rena found out, she decided to have an affair of her own. When Fred found out, he would beat Rena. Seems a little,
Double standard.
Yeah. So, however, though, when Rena's side guy found out and we witnessed it firsthand, he actually beat Fred as payback. And he would even beat Fred if he hit on any of his children.
Good for him.
Yeah. So
good for him.
Yeah. At least someone stood up, sort of. So as the abuse and sexual demands got worse, Rena decided she needed to escape. The plan was actually foiled by the woman Fred was having the affair with. This led to a blow up of fisticuffs, which ended up with Fred holding onto the children and threatening to kill Rena if she ever returned. Now, Rena would still visit her children to ensure their safety. During this time, Fred was living with Anne McFall. They met when she was 16.
Ew.
Yeah. This guy likes the youngins. Anne would go missing when she was 18 and 8 months pregnant at the time. She was never reported missing. Her remains were not found until 1994. It's believed he stabbed her and cut out their unborn child. After that, Rena would re-enter a relationship with Fred, but left again a year later,
What?
Yeah.
So
well, the
after his relationship with Anne or after
she went missing.
Oh.
Air quotes missing.
Come on, Rena.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so now we get to the whole loving, doving twosome here.
To the microphone, babe.
Yes, yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Gotta fix that.
We have a really weird setup. We have to hold our mic. We're shoved in one closet together.
Probably a good thing you can't see this. Okay, so the two met when Rose was 15. Fred had his 2 children. He was waiting for her at a bus stop. Although it was not love at first sight, Fred's persistence paid off as he was able to date Rose. Rose's family were against the relationship, but couldn't deter the two. Her parents tried putting her in social services homes to no avail. When Fred went to prison, 17-year-old Rose would watch his stepdaughter Anne Charmaine and their daughter Anne Marie. Rose and Charmaine constantly fought. Charmaine went missing in the summer of 1971, and when Charmaine's mother came looking for her, she went missing as well.
So that was the mixed race bus baby.
Yes, well, that was Rena's daughter. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then while Fred was in prison, Rose would become a sex worker. And when Fred returned from prison, he would regularly watch the acts. Oh, wonderful.
Lovely.
Yes.
What a couple.
Oh, beautiful, aren't they? While they lived in Gloucester, they began the killing. They took in boarders and offered rides to alone young women. Their house would later become known as the House of Horrors. Oh, yes. They would rape and murder anyone that stayed with them.
So it's kind of like H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, it was, except this is a couple and it's almost worse that way. And they like them young.
Oh,
yeah. Don't worry. There's trigger warning later on for you, although it probably should have warned you ahead of time. So together, the West had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. those kids faced abuse, including rape and whippings. One of the daughters was responsible for booking her mother's Johns, or her customers.
What?
Yeah, she would book the customers for the little working of sex acts.
They call them Johns?
That's used to call them. Probably still call them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys, he's like full of knowledge because he's old.
Oh, settle down now.
So
you just hit 30, so talk about old.
Yeah, you're in your 40s.
Okay, so May, one of the daughters, was able to survive, testified against her parents after they were apprehended. Her and her sister were raped by their father, male customers, and their uncle. Her sister Anne-Marie became pregnant and had a something. Boy, spell check really didn't do that one well.
Oh gosh, what is that word? What is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
Okay, so and had a SETI form her father?
Yeah, that's not right.
Okay. Anyways,
sorry.
Regardless, his daughter became pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's not great.
No. And then during an altercation between Fred and Rose, their daughter tried to interfere and was kicked in the face by her father. He was also wearing steel-toed boots, and Rose commented, "That will teach you."
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wonderful.
Parents of the Year award.
Yeah. So in 1992, the Wests were visited by social services as the youngest daughter confided in a friend the abuse that was happening. Unfortunately, the children were too afraid to testify and return to their parents. It's a big problem. So the cellar was the primary spot for torture and burial. Once they filled the cellar, they proceeded to dispose of the bodies under the back patio. At no time during these horrific acts had anyone been suspicious of the family. Nice local family.
It's pillar of the community.
Oh, yes. So in June 1987, the West's eldest child went missing. She was 16 at the time. Rose at the time stated that her daughter was a lesbian and wanted a life of her own. This was the beginning of the end for this murderous couple, though. After a joke from Fred about misbehaving children going under the patio like Heather, this joke would spread through the children and eventually caught the ear of the social workers. It was not until 1994 the police would be able to investigate the cellar, the patio, and under the floor of the bathroom, and found the remains of 8 females, as well as Heather, Charmaine, and her mother, Rena.
Rena, you weren't supposed to return.
No, and so this is a bit of a trigger warning because this is what they actually did to these bodies. Some of the tortures included restraints, gags, decapitation, dismemberment. One was scalped.
Oh.
Now another was mummified using duct tape with a straw up her nose so she could slightly breathe during the torture, apparently.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So after their arrest, Rose turned on Fred and was blaming him for all the murders. Great. But this time the children proved that to be false. Rose West was sentenced to life in prison in 1995.
Good.
Where she still sits to rot as of today.
Good.
Fred had different plans as he proceeded to hang himself in prison.
Oh, fucking coward.
And to get in the last word, he scribbled Freddie, the masked murderer from Gloucester. Just couldn't go out without saying something, huh?
Oh my God.
So yeah, a wonderful couple, aren't they?
Wonderful couple.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
That's insane.
Yes, that is insane.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was cool for your debut.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was so cool of you. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but
yes, no, understandable.
Well, thank you so much. So nice of you. I hated everything about it.
I know.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, I am going to move on, and we are going to have a nice and uplifting story.
Definitely need that.
Yes. So this is a real episode, guys, because Kyle brought us down with a horrible story like Ashley.
Thank you.
And then now I'm going to lift us all up because I'm the superior.
Wow.
Hey, man, I didn't have emergency surgery.
Ashley, what have you done to me?
Just kidding. I love Ashley. I miss her. She was going to come visit me for my birthday.
So we hope she gets better for sure.
We do. It was really scary, guys. So if you pray for Ashley that she heals really quickly. If you don't pray, just send good thoughts either way.
pray hard so I don't have to do this because,
Because he doesn't think he's great, but I think he did really well for his first time, guys. You're welcome. And I'm not just saying that because I love you.
no bias there.
No bias. No. So I'm going to talk about Bessie Blount Griffin. She was a physical therapist, inventor, author, and an expert in forensic handwriting analysis.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Busy.
And she began her education in a one-room segregated school with no textbooks and went on to achieve greatness.
That's impressive.
Yes. So if you didn't catch it, she is a Black woman back in the 1950s.
Yeah, a lot to work against her.
Actually, just kidding. In the early 1900s.
That's worse.
Which is probably worse.
That's worse.
So she's incredible. I just wanted to keep on my little badassery storylines. Her drive and aptitude for innovation helped her become a trailblazer in every profession that she explored at a period where there were few Black women holding science-related positions or positions at all. She was the first Black woman to appear on The Big Idea, which was a 1950s television show about cutting-edge innovations, and she was the first person of color to be approved for advanced study at England's Scotland Yard's document division.
That is impressive. Not only being a woman, but being Black at that time and doing all of that.
Especially what's considered a man's job, right?
Absolutely worst of the worst for men's jobs back then.
Yeah, and Scotland Yard is like very prestigious.
Oh, yeah.
So, amazing accomplishments. She also contributed frequently to numerous prestigious Black publications and periodicals, and was a founding member of the American Association of Handwriting Analysts. She has also worked with amputee veterans to create products and teach them skills that would enable them to carry out their daily duties without that hindrance of their disability.
She should be knighted at the rate this is going.
Honestly, yeah, this woman's amazing.
Yes, and this is just the start.
Yeah, gets better.
Ooh, nice.
On November 24th, 1914, in the town of Hickory, Virginia, which is current-day Chesapeake, Bessie Blount Griffin was born. So same month as you, babe.
Thankfully not the same year.
That would be really bad.
Oh, I'd be impressively old.
Yeah. Diggs Chapel Elementary School was a one-room schoolhouse, and it served as the foundation for her education. The school was established by Black community members as a venue to educate the children of formerly enslaved people following the Civil War, according to the New York Times.
Wow.
She said, "When I attended the school, Black kids didn't have textbooks. We later got them from the white schools, but each child would read a verse out of the Bible. That's how we first learned to read."
It's a slow start, to say the least, for a child.
And it's difficult because they probably would have just had the King James version.
Well, yeah. Imagine trying to read that English and then relearn English later on.
Oh, King James version is the bane of my existence. She was also left-handed, which, if you know anything about back in time, it was very improper to be left-handed. Because why couldn't you be who you were supposed to be?
Well, don't forget, they were very religious, so left hand was the sin side of the gods.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Blount was writing with her left hand when her teacher saw her and whacked her knuckles to correct her. Did you get your knuckles whacked?
No, I'm not that old, thank you very much. But it is possible my boss did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bad boss? Oh, wait, no.
No.
Good boss.
Good boss. Maybe a left-handed student. I don't know.
Oh. She was so determined and she was so creative, even when she was young. So she overcame this punishment by teaching herself how to write while holding a pencil in her mouth,
Jesus.
as well as how to be ambidextrous. And if you guys don't know, that's read it up. Writing with your left and your right hand.
Yes, and that is very difficult.
Yes, my husband is ambidextrous. He's wonderful at it. She also picked up the skill of writing with her feet.
Yeah, this lady's got me beat by miles.
Yeah. She has us all beat by miles.
Yeah, not good enough with both hands, but let's go mouth and feet because why not?
She said if it was wrong to write with my left hand, then it was wrong to write with my right hand. According to Smithsonian Magazine, Blount created her own education plan after finishing all of the formal schooling that was allotted to her in 6th grade because there were no nearby institutions that provided further education for Black kids.
Yeah, it's amazing what she could have done if they just let her.
Yeah. And, you know, gave her the education.
Anything close to that, she probably would have been beyond.
Oh, it's amazing. And just wait what she accomplishes.
Okay, I'm waiting.
She obtained an uncommon honor at the time after deciding that she wanted to become a physical therapist. She received acceptance letters from Panzer College of Physical Education and Hygiene and Union Junior College. I don't know anything about those schools, but I'm assuming they were good.
Well, and again, her time and everything else, it worked against her, and that's pretty impressive still.
She then trained World War II amputees who had lost their hands or their feet on the battlefield in daily duties as a physical therapist. Important activities included eating and writing. And if Bessie Blount Griffin could impart anything from personal experience, it was different writing techniques.
Yes, you could do that.
She quickly began instructing patients in the art of writing with their teeth and their feet, much as she had done herself in her earlier years while being spiteful.
Wow, it's like she knew what she was going to do. It's even at that age. It's impressive.
Isn't that crazy? She would tell them that you're not crippled, you're only crippled in your mind. And that's amazing. That's such a nice little tidbit to impart on somebody.
Yes.
Especially because, you know, they gave their all fighting in the war and then that happens to them, you know?
Oh, yeah. And it gives them a good mental strength, reminding them that, you know what, it's your mind that wins over everything else.
Yeah. Soon, her work with disabled veterans would inspire her to make her first invention. Ooh. It's so cool, you guys.
Oh, I can't wait.
She trained as a physiotherapist and provided writing instruction to amputees at New York's Bronx Hospital, which is now Bronx Lebanon Hospital Center. While there, she came to see how much the amputees would benefit from learning how to feed themselves without assistance. This is so cool, you guys. She developed a design for an electric feeding apparatus that would let a patient bite into a tube to get food delivered to their mouths.
Wow.
Imagine the possibilities of this and the independence somebody would feel not being able to do that for themselves anymore.
Well, think of the time frame. This is like World War II people.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Crazy. Blount developed the prototype in her kitchen, melting plastic with hot water and then shaping the gadget using common household equipment like files, hammers, and an ice pick. She usually worked from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. on her project.
So I'm guessing she didn't sleep a lot.
No.
I think her mind was too busy doing everything else.
Yes. And this is in 1948, guys.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A piece of her invention, a portable receptacle that used a neck brace with built-in support to hold bowls or cups close to the mouth, was patented by her in 1951. She could hardly wait to use it, of course, but her design was rejected by the Veterans Administration.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
As an alternative, she gave it to the French government so that it might start aiding their citizens.
Yeah, one door closes, another one opens.
Exactly. Blount also created a disposable emesis bowl to hold waste and bodily fluids, saving hospitals the trouble of constantly cleaning their basins. She created the prototype using newspaper, flour, and water. Once more, the Veterans Administration showed no interest. So she sold Belgium the concept, and they continue to use a variety of it today.
I'm glad she never mixed those up when she was making them.
Yeah.
That would not have been
good. She never stopped inventing, but she did stop submitting her designs for patents, according to her family. She started a second career conducting forensic investigations for Vinland, New Jersey, and Virginia police departments in the 1960s. Her area of expertise was graphology, the study of handwriting to characterize a person's behavior.
These inventions were just a little too boring for her. She needed something else, eh?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I have been taught that a person's signature is his written fingerprints, and they are just as valid as those on his fingers or the sole prints of his feet. Blount served as Portsmouth, Virginia's top document examiner in the 1970s.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yes.
And people, this would make her in her what, like late 50s, early 60s? She was born in 1914.
Yeah, she'd be 56.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She eventually found employment as a handwriting specialist at Scotland Yard in England. And she later became an expert at identifying fake documents.
That would have been handy back then, for sure.
Mm-hmm. People, in her 80s, she was still employed as a consulting forensic analyst. Even after she stopped working in law enforcement, she continued to be active by consulting with academics and museums to establish the veracity of treaties signed by Native Americans and papers pertaining to the slave trade that were written before the frickin' Civil War.
Just don't hear many 80-year-old people doing stuff like that.
No.
No.
Blount once noticed her 12-year-old grandson, Nicholas's handwriting, and accurately diagnosed him with a vision problem in one eye.
Wow. Just from his writing.
Yeah. She said it was all in your writing, that your writing showed you how you were physically as well as mentally. It's a bit of science, but it's a bit of a gift, and that's what she had as well.
Yeah, it was a blessing to everybody else that she had it.
Amazing. Blount developed a passion for public speaking and began traveling the country to address school audiences, civic groups, and other organizations about her life's work. She left her house in Virginia alone and boarded a bus in 2008.
My goodness.
She was
14 to 08?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was going to do yet another project, constructing a museum and library to remember the schoolhouse and the contributions of people who had attended. Her elementary school had burned down years before, and she was there to undertake yet another project.
At that age?
Yes.
My goodness.
She was 93 years old, and she had no plans to die.
I don't doubt that.
She told the pilot, "I'm going to live only for spite since my work is not done." And unfortunately, her museum was never fully completed. And on December 30th, 2009, she passed away at the ripe old age of 95 years old.
That is impressive.
And that is my story on Miss Bessie Blount Griffin. And I got my sources from blackpast.org, all that's interesting, EDU, and New York Times.
Oh, I forgot to mention mine. It was all that's interesting in Wikipedia.
Nice. You pulled an Ashley.
Hey now.
I love that.
Last minute research too.
So that is our story. I really hope you guys liked it.
I do too.
Yes, because we had fun.
Yes.
And I know that nobody can replace Ashley, but I think Kyle did a great job at trying.
Well, thank you.
So hopefully you guys will like him, and he'll probably be joining me for the next little while. So please let us know.
Yeah, suggestions are more than acceptable for me.
So now that our stories are done, I do have jokes.
Yay.
Okay. Don't look.
Oh, sorry.
Don't cheat.
No cheating.
Kyle, I invented a new word.
Oh.
Plagiarism.
Supposed to laugh after you tell it.
It's funny. Helvetica and Times New Roman walk into a bar. Get out of here, shouts the bartender. We don't serve your type.
Oy.
So funny. Like this one too. Yesterday, I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him, "What's the word on the street?" Isn't it great?
That's a good one.
And then our lovely Rochelle sent me a meme from Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I said that I would share it on the podcast because I think it's really great. So it says, "Why is it called creepy pasta and not fettuccine Alfredo?" So those are my jokes.
Oh,
did you like them?
They were funny.
Okay, good. So if you want more of us lovely ladies,
yes, lovely ladies,
and Kyle,
thank you.
You can join us. Oh my God, Ashley does this. We are on Patreon. Yes. Please join me. Our tier is smoked ham, which is amazing. Yes. We tell funny stories. And Am I the Asshole? And I don't know what we're doing this month, but it's going to be great. So tune in.
Yeah, and recommend, please.
We're also on YouTube. Not the next couple of weeks. I have no idea how to edit video. So I'm really sorry, everybody. I know you wanted to see my beautiful face.
Don't want to see mine, so it's okay.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram where we post all of our updates and all of our posts. And then if you wanted to rate and review us, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you 2 new stories next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.